Victor Wembanyama's journey began on the streets of France, where he first picked up a basketball at the age of 6. Even then, his talent was undeniable. From the moment Victor stepped onto the court, we knew he was special. His height, his agility, his skill. It was clear that he had the potential to be something truly extraordinary. But talent alone isn't enough to reach the pinnacle of success. Victor knew that he had to work harder than anyone else if he wanted to achieve his dreams. Victor's status as an outstanding student grew like wildfire as he developed further. Scouts took note, anxious to see the event with their own eyes from all over the world. But tremendous pressure accompanies exceptional talent. Expectations were high, and Victor had to overcome difficulties that may have derailed his progress. Victor always had faith in himself, even in the face of skeptics and doubters. He put an end to the criticism and solidified his status as one of the greatest basketball players ever with his unyielding resolve. Wembanyama was essentially intended to play ball from birth, or at the very least, sporting brilliance and enticing publicity, although Wembanyama was given the freedom to choose his own passion and pursuits. As the prodigy himself once put it, basketball was hard to avoid in his family. Sure enough, the young Wembanyama quickly became enamored with the game, a sport he connected with more deeply than he had soccer and judo. His father Felix was a 6'5" track and field standout, while his mother Led, who was 6'3", played professional basketball herself before transitioning into coaching. On the first day of practice, Wembanyama was taller than all the other players on the court, even when they were older than he was. It was evident right away that Wembanyama was special. He was an exceptional athlete and unusually well-rounded for his size. By the time he was 9 years old, he was assisting his mother in coaching children who were younger than him. Shortly after, Wembanyama's journey to the NBA got underway at an 11U game in Versailles, where he caught the eye of Michael Allard, a coach with Natara, one of the oldest and most unexpected professional clubs in France. It so happened that Allard had initially mistook the towering young player for the team's assistant. Allard realized his error when Wembanyama took the floor, though, and quickly called the technical director of Nanterre's youth program to tell him about this otherworldly prospect he had just recently found out about when Wembanyama moved to Nanterre, where he ate, slept, and played basketball at the club's de facto boarding school, instead of concentrating on the aspects of the game that are typically thought to be most crucial for big men. In order to use the argument to get people to launch. That freedom, coupled with his own exceptional work ethic and ever-increasing wingspan, allowed him to blossom into a prospect as alluring as any adolescent before him. By the time he was 14 years old, Wembanyama had grown to 6'11" and was beginning to generate major buzz throughout Europe. Longtime NBA veteran and fellow Frenchman Nicolas Batum, who happened to randomly catch a glimpse of a 14-year-old Wembanyama practicing one day, knew he was going to be a future superstar. Wembanyama was well aware of his extraordinary potential and even planned to put as much effort into his basketball development as his English lessons in anticipation of playing in the NBA when he was 15 years old. At that point, he had outgrown the junior squad of Nanterre and was added to the senior roster, making his professional debut at the 2019 Euro Cup. Before long, however, his greatness was revealed for everyone to see in 2020 and 2021. Victor Wembanyama's parents and brothers have encouraged him during his quick ascent to the NBA. The rookie was raised in France by his parents, Felix Wembanyama and Elodie de Faudereau, as well as his brother Oscar and sister Eve. The three siblings became close because they all loved sports and valued their families. Elodie and Felix encouraged their kids to play sports and discover their passion. As a result, all three Wembanyama siblings took up the game of basketball. From the age of 10 to 11, Victor competed in track and field. Wemby acknowledged that his father had taught him the right ways to run and jump. Felix's upbringing, which combined his French and African heritage, has endowed Victor with a rich family history. The Wembanyama family stands out for endurance and cultural depth. After Wembanyama played soccer and trained in judo, it is said that his mother, Elodie de Faudereau, introduced him to basketball. Like her kids, Elodie Defaudero was a professional player before turning to coaching young players. Wembanyama was first exposed to the game in this way. Wemby is free to decide whether or not to play basketball, but the game has always been about, and it is unavoidable for him. It comes from his family. Victor's grandparents are former basketball players as well. In the 1960s, Michael Defaudero, his grandfather, was a basketball player. Standing 6'7", he played for a Parisian club in the highest tier of France. In the meantime, Marie-Christine used to drive her husband to and from sporting events. It appears that basketball is ingrained in the Wembanyama family's genetic makeup. Wembanyama, Victor's younger sister, is well known for her basketball career as well. The 16-year-old Wembanyama achieved the greatest level of recognition as the NLB Pro's best young player. Wembanyama, a 7-foot French kid who could shoot like Kevin Durant, attack like Giannis, and defend like Rudy Gobert. Speaking of which, the Frenchman actually contributed to Wembanyama's stock rising, was playing professional basketball in France against grown men, some of whom had NBA experience. Wembanyama displayed a stunning level of poise, athleticism, and creativity for a teenager who was now well over 7 feet tall. Suddenly, Wembanyama had become the darling of the basketball world, adored throughout Europe. NBA scouts were constantly paying attention to him. Of the Year, who was unable to stop a 16-year-old Wembanyama in a 2-on-2 match that ultimately went viral on YouTube. As his popularity grew, he needed more competition after his fortunate. Thank you. Now that his destination has been decided and his NBA career has unofficially begun, Wembanyama faces the difficult part. Fulfilling the hype, a degree of anticipation that may even surpass that of LeBron when he was selected first overall right out of high school back in 2003. Whether Wembanyama realizes his potential as a generational talent or not, there's no doubt that it will be entertaining to watch this 7'4" unicorn with an 8-foot wingspan. Wembanyama was special. He was an exceptional athlete and unusually well-rounded for his size. We hope you enjoyed gaining insight into the real lives of celebrities. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories. Until next time, take care. Take care.